Hi guys, Derpy Moose 99 here with episode 2 of Banished Megamod 8 with the Jack and Jill start. Last episode we got us up and running. Basically we have a gatherer, or a mini gatherer. We have a little mini workshop. We have a little bit of storage. We have some tents. We are up to 4 people. And we're expanding over here with a little bridge to get us some more trees and rocks and stuff like that. I think in this episode what we're going to do is sort of make this a little bit more robust. We'll add in a mini hunter, maybe do some forestry to get some trees growing, get us out of the tents into houses, and maybe build another bridge and get us ready for expansion and population boom, although we're only at 4 right now. Alright, so let's get it started here. We're going to stay on speed 10. And I think what we need to do is make sure we get our... yeah, there it goes. Alright, so let's get a bunch of trees designated here. Let's take a whole whack of them. And I can't remember if I designated all the rocks and iron here, so we're doing that to clear out the gatherer's circle for natural food to grow, and also when we get a forestry hut going in, we want places, maximize the places for trees to grow. So I find this is a really good combination of, you start with a gatherer, then you build the forestry and the hunter, and build a forest node here. So this time we're doing it with mini buildings, which is kind of neat. I haven't used those much before. So this will be a mini building forestry node, if you will, or forest node. So our logs are 37, firewood is 126, which is not awesome. Tools are 9. And coats are of course 0 because we don't have a source of leather yet. Alright. So I think what we can start thinking about doing too. Let's see, how many people do we have that are actually working? We have 3, so gather. We have 1,300 food, which should be plenty for now. We've got a chopper that I don't think we need, so let's just go full labor. And let's get some of these logs in. And then we'll go back to wood chopping, and maybe we'll start working on either a hunting lodge to get some meat or protein, but also hunting lodge will get us leather too, and we can start thinking about making a few coats. The mini workshop here we're using currently, using it for tools, stone and log to make stone tools, but it will also do hide coats as well. Alright, let's bring in those logs, guys. And we'll keep an eye on, I think that's lots of firewood for 2 tents. Tools are 9. Alright, maybe while that's going on, let's lay out. I want to use the log cabins. So that would be 1 space. So if we do that there, yeah, maybe even there. Okay, let's lay 1 of those down. 73 logs and 29 stone. You know what? Let's leave 2 laboring. And let's get that log cabin going. So what we'll do is we'll get our folks out of the tents into log cabins. And then I think we'll do a hunter down over here. Now, because we're on a peninsula here, it's not the best for a fulfillment radius, but I think we're still getting, say, 80-85% of our yields. So, and we do only have 5 people, so we should be okay. It's interesting to me how firewood doesn't fall very fast. We seem to put enough in the houses to get through the winter, so. Alright. So who's got seniority here? Let's take the original couple. And let's get them into the log cabin here. There you guys go. It only took 4 years, but we got you home. Tools down to 8, that's not bad. Alright. Leave one space between the houses, but let's get this other tent done. All right, spring. We've made it through another winter. How's our tree? I guess with the mixture of all the things I've given the laborers to do, they're doing a few trees, a few rocks, a few iron. But that's okay. Alright, second log cabin. Great, okay, let's get you into a proper house. Get that tent demolished. Now, they should move in together, so we're not going to need a third cabin for a while here. So let's look at, I think we'll go tiny hunter, sorry. Okay, and we'll leave a space. Alright, so that's 24 logs. We have that easily. Oh, the other thing to look at here is how's our storage doing? It's not too bad. It's a quarter full. Although I imagine if we start really ramping up the gatherer and the hunter, we're going to fill that up pretty quick. So I think the other thing to think about here is a slightly larger barn. Now, I like these small barns for the forest nodes. So I think we'll put that in across from the gatherer. Alright. 210 logs, that's pretty decent. We have 21 stone and we're down to 5 tools, so let's make a few tools. Our food is 954, that's not bad. Alright, late summer, we have 81 firewood. We're going to have to think about getting the chopper going. Let's see if we can do some quick builds here and then. Alright, well, we're looking down here. Excuse me, let's get a few stockpiles going. As we're harvesting, we're moving away from our stockpiles there. Maybe we'll do the same over here, just put a couple small ones in. Oops. Actually want to not have them have to work, so. Alright. Okay, and when we get the hunter going, it might be an idea just to move these stockpiles. So that one's empty. That one's close to empty. I don't know if you've ever played Banished, but in Banished there's the concept of the sacred path from one of the top YouTubers. In Banished here, it's the sacred forest node, so you got to get all the rocks and all the iron ore out of the forest node circles here. Okay, there's our small barn built. Come on, Hunter. Now our food's 854, which isn't bad. We don't need to build her temporarily, so let's go chop her for some firewood. But let's throw somebody in the hunter here. We don't super urgently need the food, but it'd be nice to see if we can get some leather and build a few coats. Oops. What the heck happened here? That was interesting, a graphic for the, unless I was seeing things, a graphic for the log cabin didn't show anybody. Alright, oh, baby's born, that's wonderful. Alright, we're up to 6 people. Getting a little bit of firewood in. Logs are still over 200, that's good. Tools are coming up. Now, from our hunter's perspective here, 4 leather, and I think it's 2 leather per hide coat. So for 6 people, we want 12 leather. To at least get everybody out of the rags they're probably wearing. So I'll keep an eye on that. So it's nice to diversify the diet for health reasons here. There was a good selection from the gatherer, but the hunter adds in the protein in the form of venison and also duck meat, I believe, too. Okay, even with 1 hunter, food's still falling, so I think our tools are basically out of stone. And we've got 18 tools in reserve, so let's go 2 hunters. And keep an eye on that. Now, I don't think the hunters bring in as much food as gatherers. So we'll try 2 hunters, see if that keeps us, more or less equal on food. If it doesn't, we'll throw another gatherer in just for a little while. So only 4 leather so far, but that's okay. Now I think we're going to be using up our logs at a higher rate than we were before. Yeah, there's a lake over here, so as far as expansion, there's also a lake down here. So I'm kind of thinking of a little city square over here. Maybe some trading docks on this relatively straight portion here. A road over, maybe some, lake houses, maybe some rice farms if we can get rice. Maybe fish or something like that. This wouldn't be a bad spot for a fisherman here. Okay, we have a lot of logs right now. Why don't we just sort of... Okay, that looks okay. Now I'd like to put bridges in. Where was that cheap one there? There was a small wooden bridge. I like to have bridges in just because we're doing a lot of harvesting of rocks, and we're not using the iron ore yet, but we will be off the ground, so, and also harvesting of trees. So the bridges sort of give you access to new territory, and it's best to build them before you run out of resources. So kind of think of it as a little bit of insurance for, for the future. In Banished, it's very easy for things to go south very quickly. Okay, now it looks like we've got 8 leather. Our food's still falling though, so We have 252 firewood, so let's take our chopper out, put our chopper in the gatherer. And I would think that 2 hunters and a gatherer should bring in a fair amount of food. Now, it doesn't give us a laborer for a builder, but that's okay. Maybe just take the laborer out for now. Get this road in and maybe get that bridge done. Okay. Okay, the builder's bringing the road over. Let's put a tiny stockpile over here somewhere. Rats, can I get a free one in there? There we go. Okay, while I think of it too, let's set up our camera. Okay, so we're a few years away from having to build our next house. I feel better about having them in log cabins, though. Oh, you know what? There's no laborers, so that's why we're not bringing this. Okay, 28 stone, 107 logs. Yeah, see, our food's bounced up, so one gatherer, you know, pound for pound gathers just a ton of food. But we have 12 leather now. Okay, let's just briefly take a hunter out. And let's build, or sew, I guess, or tan some hide coats. So we'll just run that until the leather is used up. Okay, early winter, but firewood's good, food's good. Tools are still okay. Okay, all the logs for the bridge are there. Oh, we've got 4 hide coats made. 5. Eight, made it 8. Okay, maybe we got some more leather while I wasn't watching. Alright, that's all the hide coats we can make for now. And our tools are... You know what? Let's just switch to tools for a little bit. Okay, so we had... I saw 6 coats in stock and they're rapidly diminishing here. Now, I don't actually know if the kids grab coats. So we had 6 coats and 4 have been used, so maybe only the adults grab the coats. Alright, our bridge is done. Back to being a laborer. So over here, let's put a stockpile. Yeah, let's go 5 by 5. Okay, that gives us another spot to harvest resources from. Now, our forest here is fairly sparse, and we are cleaning the rocks and the iron ore out, although we missed one there. As they're getting time here, so maybe it's... Yeah, we'll take that extra too. I think it's time to start thinking about the other component of our forest node here. So let's look at... What do we have here? This megamod's just got tons of options. What's this guy? Village Forester. Let's have a look at him. Oh, that looks kind of cool. Kind of fits in with our theme here. All right. You go right there. Okay, there's our stockpile done. Okay. 74 logs. Let's go ahead and build this forester. Actually kind of pleased with the way this is coming along here. Okay, almost out of stone, so we have 37 tools, so that's pretty good. Firewood's still good. Food is getting really good. So that's one hunter and one gatherer. I think we'll leave it like that for now. We'll try and accumulate a bit of leather. Yeah, there's 4 leather, 2 hide coats left. So, and the coats aren't really a survival feature as much as they let the workers stay out longer in the cold weather. So, it's a productivity thing, not a survival thing. So, if they don't have coats, they won't die, but it's much more efficient, obviously, to have coats and tools and all that kind of good stuff. Okay, how are we doing on our forestry here? Now that's 8% full and that's 57% full. So when we start needing the room here, what I'm going to do is we'll get rid of the Celtic storage shelter, and maybe we'll do some storage out here, and we've got the small barn here, and these guys will go away too. So we'll move this stuff out of the sacred circle here slowly over time. So this will be a good solid forest node, albeit a bit cramped with the peninsula, but alright, let's go multiple times on the priority because that's fun. Now while that's going too, let's plan this out. I think we need to move this big stockpile or get rid of it so we can look at some kind of market square or something. Oh, that's only one. We'll let him build that. Okay, we're waiting on stone. There's some stone there. Okay, a lot of iron ore here. We don't really need, so let's just go stone only. And let's lay in some logging orders there. So while this is going on, I was just eyeballing this spot here, and I'm thinking this is made for a waterwheel sawmill. Alright, I like these because they kind of look cool, but they also make lumber as well. So let's have a look. That's 80 logs and 30 stone, which, yeah, that's a little out of reach at the moment, but let's just put that in and put it on pause. Alright, looks like I wasn't close enough here, so we're looking close enough. So we have a couple ready to move out, so we need to get a log cabin ASAP. Okay, so forester on Now that's got all the resources, so we'll let that build. Actually, you know, this is going to need 30 logs and 8 stone. We don't have the stone. Alright, let's prioritize that stone. Yeah, I know I scheduled this stockpile for demolition, but we can bring it over or use one of these. And we need this cleared anyways. If we're going to turn on this sawmill, we'll want space for a stockpile there too. Okay, and our forester was built. We have 6 people to work now. I'm actually going to start this guy planting. So it probably seems kind of dumb with this smaller population to start the planting, but it takes a while. And one person can start this off, 2 are better for planting. But once it's filled in nicely, then we can start turning on the cutting. And we'll get a good stable source of logs. So I find it, this is a pretty good investment early on to put at least one person in planting. If you can afford it, you can always pull them out if you need to. Alright, 14, 16 stone. Let's get this log cabin going. Alright, I'm kind of hankering for that watermill sawmill too, because being able to switch over briefly for lumber gives you a whole bunch of options in megamod for other buildings to build and stuff like that. So that's amazing. It's still amazing to me that we haven't had to do much wood chopping here at all. Alright, there is our 3rd log cabin in our happy couple. Alright, our senior couple over here, they're over 40, so there won't be any babies. But they have a nice log cabin to enjoy their life. Although you'd think they would be the hunters and gatherers and stuff, builders and laborers. So I guess do what you like doing. Everybody's different. Alright, so 2 builders seems a bit much. Okay, down to 1 coat, but that's not bad. It's not 0. I think it is time to do a little bit of wood chopping. So 2 laborers. We've designated a bunch of stuff for them to pick up. Do a little bit more. Yeah, this is all designated over here. Our circle's clearing out nicely. Looks like the odd teeny tree is coming in, so our modest planting efforts will have having some effect here. Alright, so I think that's about the right time to call that episode 2, I think. Next episode, I really want to get this waterwheel sawmill going. I want to start thinking about some kind of marketplace, although truly we only have 8 people yet, so marketplace is probably overkill. But we've got our barn, our gatherer, our hunter, and our forest lodge. Okay, so next episode will be about the sawmill and maybe some expansion layout here. Now, we're not desperate for food. We have over 3,000 right now with really only 1 hunter and 1 gatherer working. At some point that'll tip though, but we could think about maybe a fisherman up there if we needed. But I might be more interested in actually expanding. well, two choices really. We can expand up into this lake, and maybe, put a fisherman in the lake. They're highly productive. Get some reeds going for fire bundles and stuff like that. The other option we have is to maybe build a bridge around here somewhere and look at a forestry node up here, or maybe a city center that's, has one forest node and some expansion room for farms or something like that. So I'll maybe noodle that one a bit and see how the thought process works out. But it's been Derpy Moose 99 here with episode 2 of Banished with megamod 8 and Jack and Jill Start. Thank you very much.